So Gary, I'd like to introduce Gary. So maybe what would be easier is, Gary, why don't you introduce yourself, all right, to save time.
Okay, just briefly introduce myself.
Mm.
Briefly means 30 seconds, right?
Yes, indeed, very
Wow.
good.
All my career was on the technology field, and
Right.
I worked from just a junior engineer up to some management positions, and my last two jobs, kind of the corporate COO and the regional COO, and then before that, and back to around 20 years ago, that time when I met Eileen, and Eileen at the time was 5 years old, and she recruited me. She hired me to join a telecom and IT company serving the air transport industry. Yeah. So Eileen at that time is only 5 years old. Okay. I think most of my work experience, I work as kind of the customer service, operations, and then managing big team, kind of general management. So I have a lot of experience interviewing. I did many interviews, and also I also coach some of my department managers, the hiring managers, next level down, report to me. When they need to recruit people, I always give them a lot of guidelines on how to interview people. And other than my professional job, I also serve the Hong Kong Auxiliary Police. That is kind of the community service for 26 years. So in the police force, I also did a lot of promotion interviews and say award interview. Like for example, when we complete the training, we may award some best police constable, best sergeant, and then normally we will nominate or select several the best candidate and then make the final one. Yeah, so then it's also interview. So quite a lot of experience. So today I'm going to share a lot of stories. Well, mostly short stories.
Okay. Yeah, that's the unique part about why I thought of Gary, because he, from the military side of things and from Hong Kong as well. Good to have his fresh perspective.
Okay, let me share the screen. Can you see my screen? Okay.
It's good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. To kick off, I would like to share the story one.
Okay.
Okay. Eileen, can you do the poll?
Yep. Poll is up. For those of you who are using your mobile phone, I don't know what models you're using, but on your mobile, there should be a little button that says poll. You need to click that button in order to bring up the poll. So the question here is it possible for anyone to actually fail the interview even before it starts? So first one is yes, it's possible. Second one is no, it's not possible. And the third one, of course, not sure. All right. Okay. So I think we've got more than, there's quite a lot of you who have voted. That's fast. You see, it's not as complicated as Kenneth's option that needs a lot of reading.
Yeah.
Right? Okay, good. We've got a good 80%, which is, close to 160 of you already. So I'm going to end the poll. Is that okay, Gary?
Yep, that's okay. Then I share the story.
Yeah.
Yep.
Go ahead.
Okay. This is a true story. I remember when I worked for a US managed IT service company. I was the regional operation director and kind of the regional COO. So it's my daily practice that every morning, I need to do the morning briefing meeting with all my department head, just a 15 minutes morning briefing. And after that morning briefing, I went out to buy a cup of coffee. And that day, I remember that I start my briefing at 8:30, and then I have an interview at 9:30. So I have an interview arranged by HR to interview final shortlisted candidate. So it's for a senior level engineer position. So I rush out the office and then buy a cup of nice Starbucks coffee and then rush back to the office. And you know, Hong Kong, Singapore is very similar, where people just run, rush. And when I close to the lift of my office building, I saw the lift door is closing. So I step 1 or 2 steps, then the normal people just jump to it and press on the button and hold the lift. Then the lift door reopen. So I saw a couple of people, 3 people, 4 people inside the lift. This Hong Kong people's practice. Well, when you see a lift door is closing, you just dash to the door and then press it. And the people inside is just like, take it normal. And nobody just normally people have no facial expression whatsoever. Right. Just let you in, and then no matter how it feel annoying or impatient inside our heart, we don't express it. And all of a sudden, there's a young guy dressed up deliberately with a suit. Hong Kong people are quite casual. A lot of this is just smart casual. So we seldom see people dress up with a suit, a tie, then except you are salespeople. Then in that building, sometimes, yeah. But that guy is quite obvious, deliberately dressed up. And then this guy gave me a expression like, so kind of very unhappy about me holding the lift.
You know,
yes, it's just a
look of disapproval.
Okay, then okay, understand. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, guy, I hold you up. Sorry. That's what I feel. Okay. After that, and he turned his face to a mirror-like surface of the lift. You know, lift normally is a stainless steel. Then, and he start to, wow, very, very appreciate his appearance. Probably he just like, oh yeah, I'm handsome. I look good. Yeah, I'm smart. Yes, it's my day. Something like that. Then he just ignored all the people inside the lift. Then my feeling is, oh my God, this guy is so self-centric. And he's so impatient and so self-centric. Okay, fine. None of my business. But when the lift reached the floor of my office, when I walk out from the lift, this guy followed me. And followed me to the same office. Oh, he come for interview. He is the candidate. God, we don't need a very impatient, self-centric candidate.
Sounds like K-drama though. Korean drama.
Yes, and then okay, he approached the receptionist, and then I walked back to my office, and next to my office was my HR partner. So the recruitment and also the regional HR manager. So I walked inside her office. He said, "Hey, Wendy, it's my partner. I know the candidate is coming for interview. He already failed. I know you are very professional. Use a professional way to handle it." Then the HR manager, okay. Then I told the story. Then the HR manager, oh, okay, yeah, understand. Then the HR manager just take care of this candidate. We have choice. Why I have to? Because that candidate gives me a feeling, wow, so self-centric, ignoring other people, so impatient. We need somebody patient enough to deal with people, deal with client. Our client is always very demanding, and teamwork. We don't need people so self-centric. So he failed. That's the true story.
Yeah, I think it can happen, right? I mean, anywhere and everywhere. You just never know. They always have this saying, it ain't over until the fat lady sings. You know, right from when you leave the house and then all the way to reaching home, anything can happen because you don't know who you meet, right?
Yes. Especially when you're approaching the office of the interviewer. I think you don't know who you will pump into. You may what you did, what you done, and well, people watching.
Yeah.
So this story, I think, is chance are good for people who are prepared. You always be well prepared yourself. So think on your feet. That a quick meaning of it, and I just look at the Cambridge Dictionary. So to think react quickly, especially having good answer ready, means well prepared.
Right.
Okay. So another story, the scenario one. Okay, we talk about to interview for a networking engineer positions. So you are a well-qualified candidate for a senior networking engineer position. This is an expertise level post which require professional certifications like CCIE, and you expect the job would handle only challenging issues such as level 2, level 3 escalations. Then the interview asks you the following questions. Okay. This is the question. We don't operate same as many IT service company. We don't have level 1, 2, 3 support such a division of work, or our tech teams required to receive customer hotline call. So kind of unexpected, right? The questions come up unexpected. So what will you answer?
What will you guys answer, guys? Type in the chat. We don't operate the same as many IT service companies. We don't have level 1, level 2, level 3 support. And therefore, all our technical teams have to do everything, including take on customer hotline. Oh, hey, got a few answers there. A lot of them says they are okay, just do it.
Okay.
Say, I don't mind. This is good.
That's good. That's good. But we don't expect the candidate just answer, we're okay. We expect candidate to ask question. Oh, then what is the operating model, and why we don't have the level 1 and 2 and 3 support? How you run your support? That what we expect customer to ask, what we expect our candidate to ask. And as a matter of fact, this is the selling point of my company at the time, because at the time I worked for a managed IT service company. The company is a global company.
Yep.
Not a big one, just a kind of 1,000, 2,000 people. And they deliberately not classify their support like level 1, 2, 3, because they position themselves as kind of the managed IT infrastructure service provider. So they do a lot of outsourcing work. Okay, you're a big company, you don't want to manage your own IT infrastructure. So let our data center, let us use the public cloud like the AWS or Microsoft Azure to provide the IT platform for you. So our team is actually your infrastructure people. So, and our client, mostly they have their own IT people as well. They have their software people, they have their internal desktop people serving the internal client. This type of client, when they need help, they don't want to call a hotline, say for English +1, for Cantonese +2, and then go into a call agent. That call agent may be not that technical good enough to answer the question and just log a ticket and then wait. They want to reach people on expertise level. That's the reason why that's the selling point of my company at the time, is all the technical team we don't recruit in experience. When we recruit people with at least 3 to 4 years working experience, some even more, and all at the expertise engineer level. And all of them need to answer call. The reason why is because we expect when the customer call, they are the IT people of our client, and they would like to reach our technical team. They would like to talk to a technical expert instead of somebody just log the call. So when we throw this question out, we expect candidate to ask more. Okay, the last question. Okay.
Yeah, I think the crowd has been, I think we're all on the same page. There's quite a few comments in the crowd as well. Yeah, very good. And then YT said a lean startup allows you to learn broad aspects. Absolutely. So I think we're good here.
Yes. Okay, then we go into another question. Is we start to ask scenario questions.
Okay.
Like, okay, a strategic client is having service outage. You propose to shut down, share the backup level connection at our data center, but it may or may not affect other clients. How will you convince your manager to accept your propose that action? So what do you think?
What do you think? A strategic client is having service outage. You propose to shut down, right, a shared backup network connection at your data center, but it may affect other clients. So how will you convince your manager? Oh, it's interesting. You've got some inputs already, Gary.
Okay.
Yeah. Oi King says there's risk of data loss, of course. Cynthia says provide more evidence to back your proposal.
Yes, good. That's good.
Right.
Yeah.
Sally said need to assure them what is the impact. YT says prepare business continuity plan and
Yes, BCP.
worst
Yes, good
case
answer.
scenario and solutions. Sounds very good. Gina says explain the impacts to other clients. Explain the impacts to other clients and also the positive outcome that the strategic customer can benefit from. Okay. Wow, quite a lot. Risk management, basically risk management.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
I would say there's no right or wrong answer. When we throw this question to the engineer, we actually test his experience. You know, we test whether we have real life experience managing a outage like this type. If he doesn't have this type of experience, he may not fit our requirement, because we looking for a senior engineer, networking engineer. So we expect somebody who will really deal with a crisis situation before, like outage. And I think I even remember back to our old time where we experienced like
airlines.
a global outage for airline, earthquake, and then break the submarine cable. This always happened in
all the airlines in the world. Oh my God.
Yes, exactly. And so this question is actually we indirectly ask experience instead of just look at the CV to ask, because the CV is your own story. This is the scenario. We ask a scenario and see how he responds. Like, well, somebody mentioned BCP, somebody mentioned the risk management, somebody mentioned the pros and cons of this. Well, I think this is testing the experience.
Yeah.
Okay, so the next one. Okay, then it's a follow-up question. Your manager agreed to the proposed action. The standard procedure is to send out emergency maintenance notice to all clients. You have to they share the connection, but it may result a lot of objection. It means prolong the restoration for that strategic client.
Okay.
So is you are confident. Well, even such a network, because a backup network, even you bring down the network, nobody is aware of it. Even the client. Is it true that nobody really really notice it? I sometimes may not, because some clients they may put their own monitoring. Even the backup connection is down, they may know, despite not affect their service, they may know. So what will you do? What follow standard procedures? Bring up the strategic client first, or what? So we put this two questions to the candidate. So what do you think? What will you answer? How will you answer?
Okay, so should you still take care of the, okay, Irene says follow standard procedure.
Okay.
Very fast. Cynthia says preempt all clients is but still necessary to prevent any backlash. Okay. There's more standard procedure. That's what Liana said. SOP, yeah. North says SOP. Eric says SOP. Quite a few people says SOP though. And then Gina says still refer back to the risk assessment. I like this crowd. Yeah. Risk assessment shows the depth of your knowledge and the extent of your experience.
This question, and when we throw this question out, we expect more the candidate answer follow the standard procedure, but we follow the standard procedure, but the standard procedure is to send out emergency maintenance notice. However, on the emergency maintenance notice, we also highlight to the client you won't experience any service interruption.
Is there a guarantee?
It's quite true, because it's a backup. The situation is for that strategic client is because their primary network is unstable, and then the traffic is keep on back and forth, the primary backup, and then cannot bring up. So what we need to do is just shut down the connection to the backup, and then then we can turn up the primary for that strategic client. That's how we deal with the situation. So for other clients using that backup, is really a backup. They don't have real life traffic on that backup. But as I mentioned, some of the clients, they may have their own monitoring. Even we bring down the backup circuit, if we don't tell them, they will jump. They will definitely jump up, because we didn't follow the standard procedures. So our expected answer is more like, okay, you follow the the standard procedure. But is there any shortcut? Is there any way to speed up the process? That's what we expect from the candidate. And also this type of response means the candidate whether he has experience or not. He cannot just make up a story. If he doesn't have that type of experience, he can't give us good answer. So
I think we also got a very experienced crowd here though.
Yeah, and also you can see that the follow-up questions and initial question, and then that come to this follow-up question. You can see the follow-up question is more difficult. It's more challenging, I would say. Okay, that's the end of the scenario one. Oh, sorry. Sorry. Okay. Okay, then we go to the scenario 2. So we interview for a solution architect positions. So you are a very strong candidate. So you always very proud of your knowledge on your top notch technology knowledge, and interviewer asks you these following questions.
Okay.
You spend a lot of effort to prepare an excellent solution and present it to client. However, the client comment, your solution is nice, but I don't have the budget.
Oh, I love this question. Oh,
what will you say? What will you say?
So nice, so nice, so nice.
What will you say?
Guys, what if the customer say, I don't have the budget, right? What will you say? The solution is nice, but I don't have the budget. Hoi Kiong say, we can negotiate. No problem.
Ah, okay. You
right?
can be a sales. You can be a sales.
Ram Swee Lin says that let me fine tune the package to fit your budget. Wow, I love this.
Yeah, that's good.
Oh, Louis is even better. What is your budget?
Yeah, good, good.
Will you answer that, Gary? And then let's see. Ao Guai Hoi says, do it in stages then.
Okay, very good, very good.
Clever. And then Ming Xian say, adjust the service list. Okay, maybe in front of the client you say, okay, this one take out, this one take out. Oh dear.
Yes. This is all the answer good. Any?
But yes, Gary, I really like this one. Sulan said, what is your priority? Wow.
Yes, that's good. That's good.
Question. I love it.
Oh yeah, we have a lot of very smart.
Yes.
Very smart.
For timeline as well. Let's plan.
Yes. Okay.
Very nice. Yeah. Okay. The rest are quite similar.
Okay. Basically, this is your answer is very good. And as an interviewer, when I throw this question out, I expect the candidate, after saying all this, the candidate may even say, I will try to avoid a situation happen like this.
Oh gosh, yeah. That's,
this is when I prepare a solutions, when I prepare a presentations, one of the basic I will ask, what is the budget? That's the basic question I should ask before I prepare the proposal. So your answer are all very good. If you can think even ahead on this question, what lead to this, then give the answer on that one. Then I definitely you will impress your interviewer. So you say, oh, I will try. Well, if the client asks this, I will ask what is your budget, what's your face, but it is better to prevent the situation happen like this. I may do some homework before I prepare the solution. I may ask, but sometimes the solution architect or sales engineer, they may not really have close contact with the client, mainly the sales.
Yeah.
So the next question comes up.
Oh yeah, so I just want to tell you, Gary, that it's quite interesting because Hoi King said, why don't we progress the payment in stages of completion? Wow.
Yes.
She's thinking of real estate, when
that is a kind of go into the contract negotiation as well. Preparing the contract. Yep.
And then Zhu Ming says we can provide alternative solution to fulfill your basic requirement.
Yes.
That's also quite creative, I would say.
Yeah, true. Okay, then the next question, the next question the interviewer asks, okay, then your client further comments. Didn't you check my budget with a sales colleague? I have told him I'm disappointed on your presentation. You have done your homework and you have wasted my time. How will you respond if come to this? If your client
Oh, yeah.
This
This is
is
like being reprimanded by the client, right?
yeah. Then
Don't
now
you
it's
never
come
do
to
your homework.
then come to the customer satisfactions.
How will you guys answer, guys, if your clients say that? I thought I told your sales colleague already. I mean, you guys don't talk to sales. Are you guys from the same company? Sometimes clients are like that, right? Because when the
Yeah.
company is big, I think I've come across that very often, right?
Yes. For some, yeah.
There's
Okay.
there's
Let
Gary,
wait for the answer first.
Gary cannot wait, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Sure.
I'll just read maybe one or two and then you can.
Sure.
There may be project manager to negotiate the budget, right? So the solution architect should just focus, should just work directly with project manager. Maybe.
Maybe.
So maybe the answer is around, explaining how it kind of work, within your organization, maybe. Hoi King just cut to the chase and said, I will liaise with your sales rep.
Yeah. I think this is just an assumption question. It's just a scenario, and we deliberately put the candidate in a difficult situation and see how you respond.
Okay,
So,
Gary, ask you.
Yep.
Janelle says apologize first. Chu also says apologize for some internal miscom. Would you be happy with that answer?
Yeah. I think
Why not, right? Yeah.
we are looking for answer like how the candidate handle a situation, a kind. Perhaps it may be the account manager, the sales manager did not communicate well. This back to, but it may be the client itself. The client said they told the budget. Is that really true? They told the budget, but we need somebody handle client tactfully. We don't expect somebody on the spot. Are you sure you really tell my sales colleague? He didn't say that. No. Show me evidence.
I see. This is interesting because as you see the replies coming in, they have part 1, part 2, part 3 in their reply, it's sort of, I'll get back to you in 24 hours. That's what Joshua said. YT said, no, I arrange another meeting. Wow, everyone come back with some, part 1, 2, and 3. Very nice.
Yes. We at that time when we for this question, we expect some kind of tactful handling.
Right.
Polite, professional, tactful.
Okay.
Not arguing with client.
Okay.
If arguing with client, if client sign our paycheck. If we argue with client, we lost. Definitely lost.
Never question them. That's what.
There's no point to question them. They may tell you the truth or they may not. Doesn't really matter. If what client say like this, then we have to work out how to fix it. So that okay. Then come to another questions.
I like YT. YT say if the client needs to vent, just let him vent.
Yes. Sometimes you have to.
YT, you can go to Hong Kong already.
Sometimes we always comfort ourselves like that. Our paycheck including this part.
Unfortunately, we have to, right?
Yeah. Sometimes we always say, "Oh, it's our job." Yeah. When customer is not happy, we go to Cantonese. We go to Guai Bolei. Go to see kind and Guai Bolei. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Do you come to this? The last question is: if your sales colleague really did not communicate the budget, such important data with you, what will you do after the meeting with the client?
I see.
What will you do?
So the thing is that your colleague, the mistake is on your side.
Yeah, the mistake on your side. Your sales colleague really did not communicate.
Okay, Cynthia also cut to the chase. Cynthia say be transparent and apologize.
Yes.
Okay. Sarah say have an internal meeting, sort out the SOP. Julie better still bite the bullet. That means
in front of the client, bite the bullet. But what we're talking about after the meeting with the client, we go back to the office. What will you do?
Or after going back to the office, guys.
Yes, what will you do after the meeting?
Says talk to the sales colleague and tell him or her the consequence of not doing their job properly. I think that one makes a lot of sense.
Makes sense. Yeah. And this is kind of, I would say, teamwork handling. So when we ask this question, you see how this candidate will handle a situation like somebody in his team not doing a job well. So it's teamwork and how he make it, how he handle it. That's what we're looking for and see. There's no definite right or wrong answer, but we want to see the candidate say, okay, when you see is when you face a situation like that, when you really come across with a colleague not doing the job well, how you will handle it. Go to his boss, complain to his boss, go to your boss, complain him. Are you taking this approach or not? Sometimes yes, sometimes this answer is yes, but sometimes may not be the first action. The first action may be try to talk to the colleagues first and see, because the colleague may also explain to you the story. So, I talked to them, they can't keep on changing their mind. Sometimes they said they have a lot of money. Sometimes they don't want to disclose the real budget. They may have their own story as well. I think communication is important. So what we're looking for is a candidate how to handle a situation like this, instead of, well, I would do this, I would do that, I will bring out a gun holding, and I will shoot him. No, this may not help the situation, but we just want to see how the candidate will say.
Okay.
Yeah. So scenario 2 is done. Then then for these 2 scenario, I would say we just come up with some technique to think on your feet, is to predict questions. You predict answer, because we're going to attempt a network engineer, solution architect positions. Then probably you need to understand the company, know the job. So you think from the interviewer's shoes. You predict questions. Okay, on this network engineer positions, what kind of question, if you are the interviewer, will ask you? Right. If you are, okay, I apply a solution architect position. If you are the interviewer, what question you going to ask you? So you do some role play. You prepare some answer. You may ask your partner, your girlfriend, your boyfriend to practice all these questions with you, and you practice your answer. And one thing I would like to highlight is that a lot of people may overlook this one, because you prepare your own CV. So a lot of people will think that I know my CV very well. Are you sure you know your CV very well? Better go through your CV once before attending interview. Make sure because your CV is definitely a source of questions. Your interviewer will definitely base on your CV to ask you questions. You preparing all the stories, because your CV just highlight the important things. So there are backup information, there are story behind on all the points. All your story, you can remember all the details. Maybe you will be asked on the details. Are they logical? Are they logical? Are these any conflict, or is there anything not well? So people know your own CV well. So this is the first and second technique. We just come of course. Okay, let's go to story sharing again.
Gary is full of stories, which is good.
Okay. The story is okay. So a candidate for head of sales was attending an interview. He told a story of leading an account team serving a prestigious customer. So he told a story, and he come from a famous global IT company, and the contract with that strategic client is well known in the field. So he told, then the story seems okay. And after the interview, the chairman of the interview board, who was the GM of that company, come, I feel this candidate is quite good. Yeah, so his experience seems match our requirement. However, a side member, the candidate did not realize that one of the interviewers come from a competitor, leading a team, also serving the same client during the same period. And these 2 competitors have a lot of interaction while serving the same client. Interaction is a very good word. In fact, it's a lot of fight. Because these 2 competitors are one responsible for the IT platform, another responsible for the network, global network. So they always, when there's an outage, when there's a problem, finger pointing. a lot of finger pointings, and then A company say that the problem come from B, and B company say that now problem come from network. So always fight in front of this strategic client. So, however, the interviewer not know the candidate and never met him before. So that's the story. What do you think?
Should you hire this candidate even though the stories are a bit inconsistent, right?
Yes.
Some things he mentioned doesn't sound right. Will you guys hire? Yes or no? Just put a Y or N in the chat. Oh, Hoi King is very clear, no. Yeah. Siulan also says no. Cynthia says no. I think majority says no.
This is really a true story, my true experience. The candidate come from a company, is a very famous company, and the strategic client is also very famous. So their contract is very well known in the field. So but because that already quite a lot of years ago, not the last couple of years, I think more than 5 years ago. So when this candidate said, I led a team serving this strategic client, if you're not really at that time working with that client, you may not know. You may feel, yes, I heard that that's company really serving this client. So you may buy his story. Then even this high manager satisfied. But because he's hiring this head of sales for the region, so the GM of the region also invite the head of ops to attend the meeting, and I was the head of ops. So
you were from the other camp. That's how you knew.
Yes, and then why? He mentioned a story. I know that story, but I never met him. I never have any interaction with him. No way that if he really led the team serving the same client, I must know him, because at that time we have a lot of argument with that company. We have a lot of meetings, always have meetings. That client like to, okay, when there's a service outage, 2 company come, you all come and in front of the client, and we just debate, we just table all the evidence, or what they call work together, find out the solution. But at that time, it's finger pointing. So this story bring up the third technique to think on your feet. Honest answer. It's nothing wrong to highlight or emphasize our strength, but never lie. It could lead to a serious outcomes. We really have some real story in Hong Kong that somebody used a false CV to get a job, and later on discovered it, and then the case eventually become a legal case. The company report to police, and then that guy was arrested and even put on the court desk on the news. Yeah, so it could lead to a very serious outcome. So the fact is, make honest answer. You never know why people knowing you're not telling the truth, but people will know.
Yeah, that's the issue. The truth will always reveal itself, right?
Yes.
Somehow you find its way out. Yeah.
And also, you may not notice, but when we interview a lot of candidates, when somebody not telling the truth, his body language reveal it. Because a candidate may speak a lot of things are very smooth, very natural, and all of a sudden, when he keep on blinking his eye, when he have some strange body language, he may not tell the truth, but you don't realize it. You don't realize it when I mean the candidate himself may not know his body language, but naturally somebody with this. But after we interview a lot of people, sometimes we notice this. Okay, then scenario 3, police.
Oh, this one is nice.
Yeah. Okay.
Let's see.
Yes, a police sergeant promotion interview. So it's police constable. You're constable attending this year sergeant promotion exercise. You are at the final selection interview. You are asked by the promotion board the following questions. So the question 1 or the question 7. Assume you are a sergeant now. Okay, you are leading a 4 constable to manage a sector during a people management operations. You discover one of your constable was not in his post, but went to a coffee shop for breakfast. What will you do? What will you do? What will you do?
Guys, what will you do? One of your Oh, that's a nice one.
What?
Eileen say just call him.
Just call him. Okay, yeah, okay.
Okay. Yeah. What other answers do you have, guys? So one of them actually went for breakfast. Okay. Buy one more cup for me. That's what Louis said.
I like this one.
Louis, you're so funny. Oh my gosh. And then Joyce say look for him. Look for
Okay.
him. Ao Guai Hoi says locate him and reprimand him. Okay. Irene said
Okay.
call and check with him. Eric says, I think the candidate need not say, oh, okay, he's answering something else. Jaslyn said find out why first. And Helen says leave him out for this op. Yeah, Eric. Yeah, Eric, I
Okay.
realized your answer was for the previous one. Yes. Lin Min says stand and wait for him to come back. He may feel guilty. Wow,
Okay.
not bad. Says important to give him a chance to explain, then take necessary action. Irene says find replacement fast. Yeah, here we're talking about Hong Kong, no guys. All right. Liana says question him about it, ask him if he knows what he did wrong, and ask him what will he do if he's in your position.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow, quite a lot. That's quite a lot.
Good.
There's another
Interesting.
Hui Ling, I like your answer. Sit on his desk. I like your answer. Really like it. Yeah, Eric says speak to the constable in a private session. Ask him to buy for everyone. That's what Joshua said. And then Cheng Lok says always find out first before taking action. But Ao Guai Hoi says that discipline is very important. Yeah, for police.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. True. Discipline is very important. So when we were on the promotion board, when we interview a candidate, we expect this candidate think from the disciplinary angle first. But because it's a disciplinary force, then this constable supposed to many positions, many posts. He left his post. Then obviously he did not inform his immediate supervisor. So there's a lot of I would say breaks of the rules. Then how the sergeants will respond. And I think some of you give a very good answer, like find out what happened first, ask him first before decide the next action. Yes, that's something we look for. Okay, then. Yep. Okay, the constable explained he did not take breakfast before the duty and suddenly have some eggs, so he went to a coffee shop, get some quick food. He only spent 15 minutes there. Okay, that's the explanation. What will you do?
Okay, guys, so will you change your previous answer? Okay, if you change your previous answer, what will you do? Now he says he's got stomach ache, so he spent only 15 minutes. Nature's call, right? What will you do? Same. Eric says same.
Okay.
Yeah, so Eric say you have to realize that it requires warning before dismissal. Yeah, of course. Yeah. YT say you should have thought, at least don't leave without informing anyone, right? That's what.
Yeah, good. That's good.
YT says the same thing. Ask for permission. Terrence say you should have asked for permission. Same. Yeah, and then that's right. Same. No excuse expected. Have to warn him. Ask him why never take breakfast.
Oh, that's very good. You are all qualified as to be a sergeant.
Qualified. They can join YT in Hong Kong.
All the question. Wow, it's very good, and all the answer we expect. All this answer. This is a good answer. Okay, after all this answer, in fact, as an interviewer, sitting on the promotion board, that coming questions that kind of deliberately asking this type of question. Okay, let me show you.
Right.
So, okay, your answer to the previous question is you not involve any disciplinary action. You just give a warning, remind him do this, do that. Then that's the follow-up questions. What if the coffee shop is not an authorized music location according to the operation order? What will you do next? That come to disobey order.
Okay.
So
yeah, I think it's still the same answers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So I quickly go through another one. I think that is okay. Then another question is coming up is, assuming that while his post was unmanned, a flight broke out the public place, you are accountable for the sector. Will you admit you have committed disciplinary offense at negligence of duty? Serious, right?
Yeah.
Okay. How will you respond?
Okay.
Or perhaps not respond. I will ask a question, this not the interview question. I will ask, if you are really a candidate for this promotion, if your interviewer come to these questions, what will you really feel in your heart? What do you feel?
I know my answer, right? Assuming that his post was unmanned and then a fight broke out, gosh, and of course it's under your watch. So supervisor is accountable. That's what YT say for lapse in his team.
Yes.
Right? Should we say also the person has neglected his job? That's very clear. For whatever reasons. Okay, and then of course Joshua, everyone else also kind of agree. Disciplinary action is needed.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Yep.
Mostly says, you know, he needs to be accountable and take responsibility for his action. I kind of feel you got something hidden in your next slide. What's your next slide?
Yes. Okay. Now, this is the questions following the answer. If the answer do not involve disciplinary, the last two questions, if you do not involve disciplinary, that will come to these two questions. So almost force you to take, you have no choice. You must say, I will take disciplinary action. This is what lead to. Okay.
Yeah, I like what Ronnie said. Ronnie said a good leader must take,
accountability.
Yeah.
That's good. However, if your initial two questions, you already say, I will take disciplinary action, no matter how we explain disciplinary action, because he already broke the rules, then that's the question I will ask instead of instead of this question, these two questions, I will go to ask these questions. This one. If your previous questions, your previous answer to involve disciplinary action, I will throw this question out. What do you feel?
Oh, okay. So the reason given, he bumped into the field commander, right?
Yes, who is a senior inspector. So a report that his discomfort could be due to hunger and approval to take breakfast break. Oh, okay. Will you still proceed the disciplinary action?
No. A lot says no.
But you can, you see, the two initial questions, it's just they set up the scenario. But after looking at how you answer, then the question will go to different direction. One is, but no matter how you answer, the question will go to the direction against your answer.
Okay. So we have a divided crowd, Gary. Yes. All right. Not everybody says no. Some said no. I will follow. Some say I will follow the chain of command. Some say still discipline because never inform you and leave the post. So basically, he broke the chain of command. Must always be prepared for duty. Yeah, I think there's still quite a divided group, but there's still one group.
Yes.
Not still needs to do that.
Okay. Up to here. Let me. You guys provide a lot of good answer, and as a matter of fact, at that time when we sit on the promotion board, when we ask our candidate this type of questions, the answer content not the most important. Is how he respond, how he think, because no matter what answer they ask, we will throw in a opposite direction question to challenge his previous answer.
I like this.
You see, initial two questions is, well, okay, are you going to take this? The first question is a very simple one. He left his post, went to a coffee shop, take coffee break. So according to order, yes, absent from duty, disobey order, all this, and even though and then okay, he explained. After he explained, some of them, okay, we have to discuss this. We must take the flexible and understandable approach. However, some will still answer, oh, I still need to warn him, but he has to follow the protocol. True. This is all the answer we expect. Okay, after he explained, answer this. No matter what answer you give us is okay. If you insist to have disciplinary action, then we will come to this one. If you not insist go to disciplinary action, then in the other directions. So we deliberately ask opposite direction questions and put the candidate in difficult situations. No matter how you answer, you never win. You never win. That's the approach. Okay, and I will summarize it later. So I come to a scenario 4. My experience as well. This time I was on the candidate. Okay, I was a chief inspector.
Okay.
Sorry.
I think we only have time for for you to go through the last scenario.
Yep. Okay. So the chief inspector attended this year, and then final selection interview. I feel well on some of the questions, and suddenly a member asked this question. I quickly go through all these questions. I don't expect you to.
Oh, I love this question. Oh, I want to see what the audience answers. I changed my mind. I'm a woman, right? I'm allowed to change my mind. Yes. So guys, how will you answer? What's the population of Hong Kong? Okay, see who has fast fingers. What's the population of Hong Kong? And then this is 9 million, says. And then Ding says 7 million, Vanessa says 9 million. Lai Gwen says 8 million. Sulan says 10 million. What's the answer, Gary?
A
lot.
7 to 8 million.
7 to 8, okay.
Yeah.
And then there's this is a primary school question. What is the total area of Hong Kong? Okay, Terence say, I don't know, but I could Google. Sally say it's a growing population. Witty answer. Louis says 7.5. Total area. Now we're talking about area.
Yes.
What's the area? Whoa, Eric, 1106 kilometers square. Okay, Hong Kong Island. Joanna asks, is it a Hong Kong Island you're asking or what?
No, the total area of Hong Kong.
Does it include, what? Wan Chai area?
Wan Chai is part of the Hong Kong Island.
Hong Kong Island. Okay. So yeah, so they basically you have heard. All right.
Yes,
you say 1106 kilometers square.
I don't know. A primary school question, I don't know.
Okay, primary school question, and yet you don't know, right? And then the last one is, do you agree that the land in Hong Kong is far too expensive? What is your idea of resolving the housing problem of Hong Kong?
So,
anyone? Okay.
By the way, I just want to quickly run up this one. I was attending a police superintendent promotion interview. I expect all the questions, the policing related questions, and all of a sudden I was asked this question. And at that time, when one of the board member asked this question, he used a very, arrogant, impolite manner. Like, what's the population of Hong Kong? Oh, I asked you a primary school questions. What is the total area of Hong Kong? Do you know? I can't answer. Like, let me Google it. I cannot. And he didn't give me time to almost not giving me time to respond. And I said, I can't remember. What? You can't remember? It's a primary school question. Okay, go to the next one. Then it's the land. He even not give me time to respond. Then go to the next one. The next question is the last question is, do you agree the land in Hong Kong is far too expensive? You know what immediately pops up in my mind? Oh my God, the last 3 chief executive could not resolve this problem. You ask me my idea how to resolve this problem? I should run for the chief executive selection. Instead
you can only think it, right? You cannot
I can only think
it.
I cannot say it. But at that time, because all the interview went very well. I answered the question very well. Like the question, like they asked, okay, what is the manpower policy of the force, and if you are going to lead a district, and how you motivate your members to support the regular police better. All these policing question, policy question. Then I answer well. And all of a sudden, one board member asked me this question. So come to this one, the 4 technical thing on your feet. Be calm, professional, and no emotion. Because we have to prepare logical answer. That's what we expect. Sometimes you throw out the rule books may not work all the time. Confident but not insistent. Some difficult, unreasonable questions could be deliberately planned to test your emotion.
Yes.
It especially depends on the job nature. Sometimes if your job nature is like you have to face a lot of pressure, you have to face difficult internal or external client, then the interviewer may deliberately ask you question to put stress on you.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a 430. So I quickly go to the fifth one and then end my presentation.
Yeah, I think this one you should go through because someone asked a question. You know,
Yep.
do you have any question for us? So I think you have a slide that
Yes.
answer that question in the
Yes,
chat.
we have to come to the end of the interview. Do you have any questions? Well, what will you ask normally?
Okay. Okay, guys, what question will you ask if the interviewer asks any questions? Yep. Or they'll ask more about the job. Is it a new opening or replacement?
That's a good question. Good question. Yes.
Yeah. More about the job again, qualities of the job, expectations of the job.
Good.
What kind of personality? You know, when can I report? Oh, when can I start? Wow.
Yes.
Okay, what's the team structure? Did this person leave? Right?
Yeah,
When will I know the outcome of my application? Sorry. And then what do you see as the most challenging aspect of this job? Ask what is the working culture?
Okay. Yes, all this good answer. Okay.
How fast can I have a reply from you and all that? Yeah.
Okay, then yeah. You know, if you want how you will pay, sometimes it's difficult or embarrassing to ask how much you pay me.
Yeah.
But you may ask indirectly, like, what is the compensation philosophy? Unless they don't tell you the truth. Otherwise, you more or less sense that some human resources will give you answer like, is my compensation philosophy is to pay a little bit above market or pay to the market. Then kind of expectation you can get. Like if you meeting your hiring managers, or what is your management style?
Hey, very interesting. Eric say, ask how many vacancies. Will you answer that, Gary?
May not.
May or may not, is it?
May not. It depends. It depends.
I think it depends, yeah. But from an HR perspective,
yes.
For me, I would answer though. For me,
it really depends on situation.
I know, yeah. From police force, maybe not, because everything on stealth mode, right? Yeah.
So this example of the question is, say if you are applying a position that you are managing a team, you have leading, so you may ask your hiring manager, what is the expectation on my leading style? And this is a good question. I always think this is a good question. When you meet somebody, you want to know the culture of the company. So sometimes you may not ask so directly, what's the culture of this company, or what? But you may ask, how long do you mind sharing with me how long you have been working for this company, and throughout this time, what is the most enjoying things that you can you share with me? Then this is kind of the indirect question that you can feel the company, feel the culture. So your opinion, what's the biggest challenge of this role? This is also a question to see the expectation of your hiring managers. So if this is a backfill position, then you may ask, okay, what is the good thing of the last one who did well? You want me to keep, and what's the area? But you don't say what thing you did bad. Well, this is so negative, but you say what area you want me to enhance. So it's all positive. But you ask is, okay, what the last guy did well, what the last guy did very well. So this is all these examples when you have a lot example. But so the fifth technique to think on the feet is prepare meaningful question to ask. Good chance to know more about the company, help you understand more about your future boss. It could be a chance for you to impress, because if you ask smart question, you will impress your interviewer. Okay, So,
all right.
so 5 techniques: predict question, prepare answer, follow-up question generally more difficult, provide honest answer, become professional, no emotions, and prepare meaningful question to ask. So that's sum up all my sharing.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much,
Then,
Gary.
yeah, this is my contact, LinkedIn. One thing to mention is that other than I already left my professional job sometime. I start to I turn my hobby into kind of new development. So if you have time, come to visit my cooking. I like cooking, so I run some cooking page. Also run a channel, a YouTube channel. So come to visit me.
Very active, very active.
Come to visit me. Thank
Yeah.
you very much.
Yay. Thank you, Gary. I hope everybody can visit his YouTube channel. He is super active promoting it as well. Good.